10 signs your relationship is over. Few things feel as good as coming home to the person you love after a crappy day. You can share everything with them. They've seen you at your best and worst, and they know exactly how to cheer you up and make you feel special. They just get you, and everything is perfect until it isn't. You know the feeling, that sinking sensation in the pit of your stomach when you realize that a relationship might not be heading in the direction you originally anticipated. No relationship can evade the ups and downs of life. In fact, it's part of what makes it stronger. But while arguments and disagreements are part of a healthy relationship, you might want to reevaluate things if you and your partner are constantly at each other's throats. According to Brides, the first sign that there is trouble in paradise usually manifests as doubt and a feeling that you and your partner simply don't have that special connection anymore. Or worse, feeling like you can no longer trust them. If you find yourself questioning your relationship with your partner, it's time to figure out why. Taking a step back and analyzing the problems you're facing might help you decide whether it's something you guys can work through or if it's time to call it quits. We get it. Figuring out whether it's time for a breakup can be painful and complicated. There are always signs that point in this direction. You just have to recognize them. 1. You're constantly having arguments. Fighting with your significant other isn't exactly fun. And while arguments have their place in healthy relationships, constantly fighting without ceasing is not normal. Psychologist Andrea Bonio, PhD, tells Brides, if every single conversation you have with your partner takes a negative turn and inevitably ends in a shouting match, it's a sign that the relationship might have run its course. Dating expert James Priest tells The Independent. Anger and negativity are a sign of deep-rooted issues between you and your partner, and it can mean that things will eventually become very damaging, he warns, adding that it's best to end the relationship before things get worse. You'll spare yourself plenty of future heartache in doing so. 2. You no longer connect on an emotional level. Sharing an emotional connection is what gives relationships that special spark. So finding that you no longer connect with your partner on an emotional level can be painful to admit. A healthy relationship requires both parties to be emotionally invested, and if the two of you find it increasingly challenging to communicate and no longer share inside jokes and silly banter like you used to, it might be a sign that your connection is diminishing. Licensed counselor Suzanne Days-White tells Brides, if you notice that you no longer want to share things with your partner or dance around the truth instead of saying what's on your mind, you need to take a step back and ask yourself why you're behaving that way. Days-White says, it could be that the special connection you used to have with your partner has fizzled out. 3. You're no longer interested in being physically intimate with your partner. Physical intimacy is a big part of a healthy relationship, and if you simply don't ever feel like having sex with your partner, or worse, feel repulsed by the very idea, something is definitely off, and you need to reassess your relationship. If you can no longer take any pleasure in even a memory of sexual satisfaction with your partner, something is definitely amiss. Suzanne Days-White, PhD, tells Cosmopolitan. 4. You want different things in life. While it's totally healthy for people in a relationship to have unique goals and visions of the future, being on completely different pages about what you want out of life can prove problematic. Being with someone whose values and lifestyle greatly differ from yours usually doesn't end well. Dating psychologist and coach Madeleine Mason-Rowntree tells The Independent. If you realize that you and your partner want very different things, you'll have to evaluate whether you're willing to make some sacrifices and whether they'd be willing to do the same for you in the future. 5. You start to find other people more attractive. If you find that you're constantly daydreaming about someone who isn't your partner, there might be trouble in paradise. Sure, you're not actually having an affair, but you are constantly thinking about it. Usually, That's enough to indicate that you've fallen out of love. Relationship therapist Jane Bronstein tells Woman's Day. 6. You prefer your friend's company over your partner's. If you'd rather spend the night binging series with your friends in your pajamas than go out with your partner on a romantic date, something might be amiss. Putting most of your energy into your inner circle and leaving your partner out in the cold means that you're likely no longer invested in the relationship. Rhonda Milrad tells Best Life. The same applies if you find yourself spending more time with your kids than your significant other. 7. You no longer feel like you're a priority to your partner. New relationships are often accompanied by excitement and the desire to be in each other's company as much as possible. It's normal for that initial passion to cool a little, but if you notice that you're no longer a priority to your partner and that they spend more time with their friends than with you, it's important to start asking questions. Dating expert James Priest tells The Independent, if they give you lame excuses for why they can't spend time with you, the relationship probably isn't healthy anymore. 8. Thinking about a future with your partner makes you break out in a cold sweat. Does imagining a future with your partner make you feel anxious and stressed? We hate to break it to you, but this is a sure sign that they're not the one. But you probably already knew that. This is a typical "it's not you, it's me" situation. And while breaking up sucks, it's not right to stay in a relationship with someone you can't picture doing life with a couple of years from now. It's not fair to you, and it's definitely not fair to them. Holding this person without any intent for future plans limits not only them from finding their happily ever after, but also you. Licensed therapist Markisha Miller tells Cosmopolitan, if you find that you and your partner no longer talk about your future together, the relationship is likely coming to an end. Sex and relationship counselor Carmel Jones tells Best Life. 9. The relationship no longer makes you happy. We're all well aware that there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. But constantly feeling unhappy is a clear sign that something is wrong. Spoiler alert, it might be time to end things. 10. You and your partner no longer trust each other. Healthy relationships are built on trust. And if you and your partner no longer have that, you're in trouble. Trust issues are often a result of infidelity or lying, and if your partner is guilty of one or both, it can be incredibly hard to rebuild the relationship, but it's not impossible. Babita Spinelli tells Mind Body Green, if you're both willing to put in the hard work to repair the relationship, you might be able to slowly rebuild the trust you once used to have. However, if you can't bring yourself to forgive your significant other for their indiscretion, whatever it may be, rebuilding trust will be nearly impossible, Spinelli says. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.